They call it the Kleine Ronde, the Little Ronde, the Small Tour of Flanders. The dress rehearsal for the big one. This, though, is quite the race in itself. E3 Saxo Classic, also known as the E3 Prijs or simply Harelbeke, always provides entertainment. 17 hills to take on, many of the same roads that you'll see in the Ronde van Vlaanderen itself. It's a route that could grace the mighty Ronde, just without the monument distance. 204 kilometers, the likes of the Kruisberg, Ronde, Teigemberg and Eckenberg. The Paterberg and Kwaremont are the other way round in this race. And then there's a trip to the Teigemberg for the race's final climb, 20 kilometers from the finish in Harelbeke. A stressful, windy, up and down, left and right day out in the Flemish hills. A start list that would also grace the mighty Ronde 2 that comes 9 days after this. You could tell that Mathieu van der Poel, a former winner of the Ronde, was cooking something up when his teammate Dries de Bont went out to the front of the race. That came just before the mighty Teigemberg. And when they hit the climb that's famous for being Tom Bonen's playground previously, it was Van der Poel who blasted off. The breakaway brought back all 5 riders who were up there caught. Van der Poel at the front of the race, and Wout van Aert had to follow. He managed to do that, and then Tadej Pogačar also turned up on his E3 debut. The race into groups and all over the road, with plenty of the famous hills and cobbles still to go. There was wind about as well to complicate things, and teammates in the front group, so Søren Kragh set off in support of Mathieu van der Poel. Tadej Pogačar almost got it wrong, but styled it out perfectly and managed to hang on to the front group. Nata Verhooydonk joined Søren Kragh, and Matej Mohoric was there too. Verhooydonk there for Van Aert. And the race always evolving, the time gaps changing, and then we got to the Stationsberg. Crashes for Seneschal and Van Baarle, but it was Act 2 in the battle between Van der Poel and Van Aert. Pogačar didn't want to miss out and he'd get involved, and suddenly there were 6 at the front. Still, just under 60 k's to go at this point. Six riders at the front of the race, 4 monument winners. And in a race that's a dress rehearsal for the next monument, a scenario that the organisers could only have dreamed of the night before. Pogačar then put on the pressure on the Paterberg. All 6 were just about together when they started the Oude Kwaremont. But that would not last long. Pogačar going with the first pedal stroke on the Kwaremont. And this time, definitively this time, Verhooydonk would lose control, as would Kragh, and Mohoric ridden off the wheel. But would Van Aert as well. 2, 3 wheel lengths opened up, and he had to fight through the crowds and the small town of Kwaremont before he came back on towards the top. A TV motorbike crash thankfully didn't get in the way of the action. Behind the groups played and would swell. But the top trio at the front would still keep their lead. 9 in the chase, Soudal Quickstep, once king of these classics, would be involved, but only further back. There were running repairs for those in the front. The final climb of the Teigemberg not making any difference. Just some bathroom furniture for winning the little preem at the top for Wout van Aert. But that wouldn't be the only thing he'd win today. Into Harelbeke, the trio would conserve a decent advantage. Enough for Pogačar to then try and attack with 1.5 k's to go. Nothing to break any of his opponent's resistance, however, and the 3 came to a final sprint. The GC man, toe-to-toe with the classic specialists on their own terrain. He opened the sprint first. Pogačar would have to settle for 3rd. Van der Poel went for it like he had done on Via Roma, but this time, Wout van Aert in the bunch, in the group, the strongest in the sprint, and picking up a superb win as he defended his title. The first man to defend it in over a decade. Jumbo-Visma with Cobbles Classic's win number 3 in Belgium of the season, this time at E3. Wout van Aert, Mathieu van der Poel, Tadej Pogacar, one of the top podiums you're ever likely to see in this sport. And I think we're watching one of the top eras, certainly most competitive eras we've ever seen. Take a look at that, breathe it in, savour it. It is quite the time to be following professional cycling. And there's plenty more to follow coming up on Discovery Plus and GCN Plus as we head into the Flemish Holy Week.